Do you think people can change? This is the question that I've been kind of thinking about myself. Now, I have a very black and white way of thinking. You're either good or you're bad. There is no in between. You don't get to be good, do horrible things, and then the next day be good. No, you're either good or you're bad. People sometimes ask me, Jeff, why are you so mean to Phil Burnell? DSPGaming, by the way. And it isn't that I think that I'm mean. I like to think that I'm a counter to what he claims. Because everything needs to have a counter. Yin and yang, good, bad, light, dark. Phil likes to make claims, and if there was nobody there to constantly kind of hold him accountable, he would run wild. He would run rampant with the claims that he makes. And that's why he does not like the detractors, because a lot of them will basically rebuke everything he says. Phil likes it when people are just instantly subservient. That's why he has that apology fetish that he has. Hell, I saw just recently on his marathon via, I think it was Duty Streams, one of the clips that Duty Streams uploaded, where Buckwell gave DSPGaming money, which is fucking sad if it was actually Buckwell. The guy literally got shit on, which Phil likes to do to people. He left, and then he came back and gave Phil more money. But, once in a while, I'll get a message. And basically, it's like, why are you being mean to Phil? So, I thought, what? Phil has recently been going on this world tour, basically, in his mind. He's been going on this world tour in his mind that he is basically claiming that he is a good guy. That he's changed. That he now has a multi-$1,000 computer setup, that he's a changed guy, which is kind of weird that he is trying to equate having a $10,000+ computer setup with being a good guy. That he has turned his life around, that he's now a good guy, and that his computer oddly is the justification or the proof. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to entertain for one time only. I'm going to entertain this idea that Phil likes to propagate, basically, that he is a good guy. That he's turned everything around. He no longer wants to be seen as a beggar, as a lol cow. That he wants to actually be seen as a good guy. He wants to be seen as somebody who can break out of the confines that he has artificially created for himself. I don't think he can, though. I don't think he can. I think Phil is content living in the misery and self-loathing that he has created for himself. Reason being why I think that? Because people have actually reached out to Phil in the past. One of the best cases I can remember I think it was last spring. It was during the whole King Snake arc, when DSP went on to the Truth Seekers. And Broside Phil was there. Broside Phil offered, I think it was out of his own pocket, to go to Seattle, and that he had, I think Broside Phil mentioned that he had somebody that was proficient at administrating lie detector tests. Phil basically treated that like a joke, and no, I'm not going to do that. Why not, Phil? Why not? If you are so adamant that you're innocent regarding the claims that the detractors have made for 15 plus years, wouldn't you want to do anything possible to declare your innocence? But anyway, back to what I was originally talking about. I'm willing to give Phil one chance. Now, I'm not sure how exactly I can do it, but I'm willing to give him one chance. Here is the offer, Phil. There is a video series that I love to do. It is based around the TV show Unsolved Mysteries. You go onto my YouTube channel, you'll see that I've made a lot of videos. Basically, I cover cases. I give you my thoughts about the cases. Now, this is the one I'm currently working on. It's actually a pretty sad case. It's about 9 prostitutes who were brutally murdered, and they believe that a serial killer is roaming Ohio. Here's my offer to you, Phil. And I know that this video will get mentioned to Phil because Phil has been known for having his little cretins watch detractor content, and they go back and, like the faithful little servants that they are, they go, scampering right back. Here is the offer, Phil. I'm willing to entertain your declaration that you are a changed person. I am willing to entertain it one time. One time. I will invite you to do a video, Unsolved Mysteries commentary collaboration with me. You say that you don't want to be just known for playing video games, that you want to break free. You want to break free of the shackles that you have been wrongfully attached to. Fine. I think everybody who was, alive in the 80s and 90s is aware of what Unsolved Mysteries is. If not, I will even put a link to the case, that I'm working on, just so Phil could get an idea of what it is that I do. But anyway, so via possibly like Skype, Zoom, Discord. Is Skype even still around? Is Zoom still around? I don't really do this kind of stuff that much. I'm willing to give Phil one chance. Here is the catch. There is always a catch. I know damn well that if it was just me, because I've made it known that I do not like DSPGaming. I do not like how he treats people. I do not like how he treated his best friend John Rambo. I disagree with the fact of how he treats his parents. As somebody whose mother is dead, I look at the way that Phil treats his parents, especially his mom, and I find it to be abhorrent. So, I get loud, I get angry and everything. If it was just one-on-one, it would just, the session would literally de-evolve into basically a screaming match, mostly on my end. And that nothing would really get accomplished. That is why I am going, if Phil agrees, I will reach out to two groups of people. One group being, or one person being Broside Phil. Because Broside Phil, I feel that Broside Phil really wanted to get the truth out of Phil when Phil was on the Truth Seekers. Broside Phil offered for Phil to take a lie detector test, and I think Broside Phil even talked about how he would go to Seattle. I think it was on his own dime. And that they would do a lie detector test. I think Broside Phil said that he had known somebody that was proficient at administrating lie detector test. So that would be that's one caveat. The other one is I would want the Truth Seekers. I would want the truth seekers because if I understand correctly, I think they are also into like mysteries and that sort of stuff, like what Unsolved Mysteries is. I may be wrong, but the name kind of leads you to think that basically they're into like true crimes and whatnot. If Phil would agree, I will reach out to Brosideville and see what we can do. It can be on Zoom, it could be Skype, Discord, whatever Phil feels most comfortable doing. But the fact is, Phil would actually have to be in a room, virtual room, with one person who absolutely fucking hates him, me. But on the other side, Phil's like, well, why would I want to be in a room with somebody who just hates me? That would turn everything I say into a lie. And that's why I would have Broside Phil and Truth Seekers. Broside Phil is a retired police officer, if I understand correctly. Broside Phil has that. It's like a respect thing, you know. Like he's a former police officer. He has a higher set of standards, I guess you could say, that he holds himself to. The truth seekers, I think, literally, they just want the truth to be, to be seen. I'm not asking for Phil to literally do anything that, that no other person could not do. I would never ask somebody to do something I'm not willing to do myself. So, like I said, this is my message to Phil. You want to, you go every day. You go every day and you loop and you repeat that you are a great person, that everything is turning around. Prove it. Prove it. Like I said, I would like you to make a video. Say, hey, this guy, this detractor, he sent out an invitation, and this is my response. He can say, yes, yeah, I'll do this with you. I want to prove how I'm trying to turn around. Or he can literally say, no, I'm not going to do it. You're a detractor. You're a loser. You should be Thanos snapped into the afterlife. And if he does this, then maybe, just maybe, Bill can get something out of it that he wants, and that is recognition. Bill wants, ultimately what it is at the end of the day, he wants two things. He really doesn't want friendship or partnership or anything like that. He wants money, and he wants the respect of the people that watch him. Now, I'm going to make it known that this collaboration would not be profitable. I do not want there to be any sort of money to be generated from it. This will be just 4 groups of people. Me, DSP, Broside, Truth Seekers. And we're going to watch a case. And if it works out okay, then maybe there could be future opportunities. Ultimately, what I hope is that if Phil agrees, which I don't think he will, because that means he would have to leave that comfort zone and interact with, like I said, one person who just fucking hates him because of the shit he said to me back in 2009. He would have to put himself in a room with a guy who wants to tear him apart, basically, on a very metaphorical stage, not literal, because I don't want to go to jail. He'll be putting himself in a room with a person who wants to administer polygraph or lie detector. And then there's the truth seekers that basically wants the truth to come out. Ultimately, my goal is that if Phil agrees and we do another collab, ultimately I would like it to end up where Phil takes that lie detector test, because I don't think Phil is telling the truth. I don't think Phil's telling the truth at all. I know a liar when I see a liar. But ultimately, that is my challenge to DSP Gaming. He claims that he is changing, that he's changing for the better. Prove it. Make a video response. Yes, no. It could literally be, 1 or 2 words, yes or no, and that's it. But put your money where your mouth is. I'll be waiting.